Everybody, this is Sam Serious. I'm introducing another random game for y'all to be entertained by. It's another game under the Command & Conquer series. Command & Conquer, specifically the expansion Kane's Wrath. I've been playing CNC 3, since I was quite young. Been playing it on and off. I'm not a big professional player compared to what other people like Master Leaf have done, but get something for y'all to see here from a noob's perspective. So again, this is Kane's Wrath here. So this is a match against 7 AIs, six of them being hard difficulty, another being brutal. Of course, they're all against each other, so it's a bit of a free-for-all here. So this whole battle here went on for almost an hour. So this is going to be a long video for y'all to watch if you choose to stay around. If you do, I do appreciate it. And I hope you'll be enjoying the video here. So here I am playing as the Steel Talons here. This is a replay, by the way. I just figured that I'd show this match because it was long and a little interesting, and plus too, upon reflection on it, there's a few mistakes on this that I was learning from. So the whole idea here I was doing so far is to plop down a power plant, get 2 scouts going to at least secure 2 Tiberium spikes here so I can have a steady stream of resources. And here comes the engineers. Hard hat with a handgun. So those 2 come out, 2nd Rifle Squad, to watch that. You'll get there before the engineer does. They'll plop down a refinery. Next thing will be a war factory, another refinery, just to try to get the economy jump started. Now, ideally, I would go for tech off the start, but we're dealing with like a 8-player free-for-all, so I can get sandwiched by a bunch of bases that can just decide to attack me. Yep, there goes the saboteur, so I won't be capturing that spike. So back to the reason why I'm not teching up. Because, I want to build up my defenses before expanding to the central field. This is on, the map is Roctagon, by the way. So it's an 8-player map. So here's my perspectives on things so far. So I got 2 of these queued up, Titan and a Wolverine.
Armored and ready.
Training.
Those guys pop it just as I pull out that rifleman squad.
Hard hat with a handgun.
Yeah, I figure I'd go out for those 2 extra spikes.
Armored and ready.
Building captured. Unit under attack.
I'm surprised I made that capture. A bunch of disintegrators with factions. I don't even know what half the factions of these are. This is Reaper 17. Alright. This is Black Hand. This is the brutal AI that I was facing off against at the end. What faction's this? It's either not or another Black Hand. I think this was also... No, this was This was Vanilla Nod. Yeah. This is one of the first bases I wiped out. Reaper 17. That's either Skrine or Traveler. Okay, it's Traveler. Yeah, Reaper 17 will have their harvesters with shields on them. Skrine and Traveler 15-9, they don't. The whole idea with what I was doing this here is to, when I start sending out my expansion base, that'd be having it escorted with an MZV while having a defensive set of vehicles built up at the back here to watch both bases, since I'm still going to be reliant on this Tiberian field for a while. Yeah, I sent a few Wolverines to watch over a corner real quick. while the Titans watch the main spot. Let's see what faction this was. GDI, just your vanilla Kane's Wrath GDI. Sometimes the AI does things that I question, but then again, you're against a computer. 3 rocket squads in the TIB field. Something I noticed about this map, all the emissaries and the surveyors and explorers that the computer sends over to try to make an expansion at this field don't seem to work very well. I guess that kind of gave me an edge on the map. You know, there's something I kind of noticed about the AI just playing them a lot with CNC3 Kane's Wrath. They don't efficiently set up an economy. Like, I often find bases with like 10 refineries but no tanks or anything. So because of that, all the matches I set at hard difficulty are just most of the time pushovers. Like the original game, Tiberium Wars. Well, one, the refineries are cheaper and easier to pop out, but their AIs tend to scale up a lot more of the difficulty, so I tend to have a lot more thrilling matches with AI battles through that than what I do with Kane's Wrath. If there's a way of being able to fix that to make AI battles a little bit more interesting, that would be nice. Because the only battles with the CNC3 series is interesting is in Tiberian Wars, because, well, they're able to balance their economy better, I guess. Don't know for sure. And it seems to be making the push to wipe out the first base. This base attacked me first. So I decided to just wipe out all the production structures. I would have went on my way to fully wipe out this whole base in one setting. However, I was concerned about leaving this spot unattended for too long. We're dealing with 6 other AI players that can mess my expansion. Plus 2. Well, also an MCV would be big in this case. Now, I would go out on my way to send out an engineer to capture an MCV. Just have a little bit of variety of tech and options. Problem is that the AI likes to sell the structures before the engineer is able to make it to a spot. I believe I went out on my way to wipe out this next computer just by the fact that I just put down a Temple of Nod there. I don't feel like getting nuked. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I remember seeing this at the end of the match. This actually made the whole situation a royal pain for me. At the end, near the end, you'll see why shortly. After a good while, anyways. Woo! What a steamroll. This obviously is a formation move by the computer. Here's my next batch here. I decided to put in the MRTs. Is that what they are? Yeah, MRTs with the attack bases and with the attack vehicles here, the Titans and Wolverines. So they would at least have some sort of way of getting repaired without being near the war factory. Not too much of a concern considering that against a power plant. Bullets don't harm structures too much unless they're like en masse with AP ammunition or something. Black Hand doesn't have access to AP ammo, so I'm not too concerned about the issue with the power plant. Titans are handling that just fine. But I never noticed that was going on though. That's one thing getting these matches. Your attention constantly gets divided to the point where you don't notice everything. This kiss where it's like, leave my Tibbs bike alone. Not mine anymore, not my problem. Oh yeah, I started humbling this base too. I think it was in response to being attacked by them. Just done enough to wipe out the production structures, let the other AIs finish them out. Oh, it was also probably in response to militant squads attacking this here. I wiped out the production structures, so I'm not too worried about these guys anymore. And that's a downer of a Storm Rider. Okay, now this is when I decided to go for a faction that had the super weapon. 3.5 minutes left on the counter for the Temple of Nod. Oh wow, they had a commando here. Good thing the Wolverines took them down real fast. Commandos can actually, like the larger walkers, will actually take down the Titans with the C4 explosives that they have, so if you're dealing with commandos, always have your Titans escorted by some sort of anti-infantry. Geez, Black Hand too, when they produce their commando units, they're at heroic status to, I guess, counteract the fact that they're not stealth head. The Black Hand does not focus much on stealth too much, so they don't have any cloaking fields or anything like that. Unlike Mark of Kane and the Brotherhood of Nod. And I got the rail cannon upgrades. I got the Wolverines upgraded with AP ammo. They took down that Titan. That I did not notice before. If I recall right, one of these Titans, I just basically had to run over a bunch of Black Hand. These guys here. Thought was, he's gonna die anyway, so I might as well make it count. Yeah, there are several times where I neglected my harvesters. So I lost several harvesters there. Most guys are getting wiped off the board by the brutal AI player. Yeah, it's pretty much getting ready to be the brutal AI versus me at this point. Do I plop down a wreck? I can't remember why I went for tungsten shells here. Probably because I was harassed by a bunch of aircraft. And this was definitely a sizable army to contest with. I did not notice that catalyst missile before. So they took the tech center, wiping out another refinery. So 6,000 credits lost, a few harvesters, and a $4,000 tech center. That's about 10k credits there. I wiped out over 20 credits worth of infantry here with my army that I have here, so wasn't worth it at the end for the computer there. Yeah, lucky for me, I'm not using any aircraft. Anyways, so these Mantis, other than just for scouting, for the moment, it's practically useless. Oh yeah, that's when the computer starts sending out commandos. Now I came across a situation where it's only at one refinery here. This one and the ones at the back.
The Redeemer has risen.
So I had my army resting here for a while to for the time being, to make sure that I got the harvesters protected. With me having the Marv, I decided to start having the Marv go marvesting around. So that's a quick plan for an economic recovery. God, I hated dealing with this situation. Like, I eventually was forced into a situation where I had to engage them. Oh, that commando's having a blast. So I started producing a few Titans at the spot. I had a bit of a awkward moment with this. Like, this base I wasn't so concerned about anymore, considering the fact that there's no Tiberian fuel there anymore, so though I wished I hadn't sold that refinery, though. I would have been able to just plop down a watchtower and take care of that commando. I was hoping to have her taken care of, but nope, too bad. See, there's the commando take down a Titan. So I just have this Titan running for his life here to keep away from the commando. I was calling the reinforcements up there because the Wolverines to take care of her, but I thought I just selected this guy, so they ended up stopping and responding to my attack move, so nope. He died. Now, as soon as I saw the temple nod there, I was like, okay, got to engage now. And with me under a recovering economy wasn't exactly a best moment for me either, especially with 7 minutes can go down pretty fast. Now, I actually used the railgun accelerators on these guys just to try to take down that Redeemer real fast. I didn't expect the computer to have so many, not Redeemers, but purifiers like this, but I do recall losing the Marv. But I was going for the crushes on this guy. But I end up crushing way more. Basically enough vehicles to outcost the Marv here. So on a monetary stance it was worth it. But I still had this to deal with though. I was wondering why the AI wasn't camping around here until I thought this must be their default base here, because whenever I attack this base I always see like an army coming from this side. Now throughout the game I just kept on persisting with sending an army over and over and over. Oh wow. Commandos must have gotten the refineries. Do I at least have another? Did I at least that? Yep. Barrel had enough credits. I got lucky here. Yeah, the AI just kept on spamming out commandos. Totally healthy for the infantry. Gosh, this whole situation was annoying to deal with. Like, I was coming up with the strategy to just start knocking out all the power plants to disable all the defensive structures. Like, I wound up just knocking out two or three of these, and thought that'd be enough to cause all the defenses to power down. No, they kept on running. So I was like, why is that the case? Is there that many power plants to keep these on? When I went to attack this base, I was like, holy crap, that's a lot of power plants. You know, there was a way more efficient way of handling this situation upon retrospect here that I could have done here. Steel Talons do have access to Firehawks. I could just plop down 2 airfields and sent like 8 Firehawks over Stratofighter instantly onto this temple nod, and that thing would have been knocked down. When I was thinking about that, I was like, geez Louise, why didn't I do that? Just kick my own butt over that. But no, just thinking way down to the ground. Man, why was I setting mass armies over like this? Why ain't the AI responding to it though? I tried dealing with this Purify here, but my Titan kept on getting away with that every single time. Now why... I was thinking that power plants would enough to stall everything here, but no, it didn't. Interesting thing though, the computer didn't bother sending the warhead. Now the computer responds. There I was not focusing on refineries enough, so I lost a few to that commando. But I was still desperate to make that push for that temple. Then I thought about that army. Because of that, I end up just bracing myself heavily for impact. If it strikes one refineries, well, I won't lose all refineries, so I still have a way of being able to have a economic comeback. If they strike here, well, I'll still have a mass amount of refineries, so I still can make an economic impact just for building production structures. And my army has been relocated into, isn't exactly going to be caught up into a nuclear strike either, so... So I don't think I would have lost a match upon that nuclear strike. It would just slowed me down. But still, I was still determined to take down that Temple of Nod. Now, I did do a smart thing here with this engagement, if this is the engagement I'm thinking about. At some point, I did take down the tech lab, which was enough to stop the computer from spamming out the commandos. So I took that out. So 2 tech structures down, so the computer's now back to tier 1. Does it have a shrine now? It would have to, considering there's black disciples. Up there it is. Yeah, I should have just called the army back there. Peppered back by the laser turrets while dealing with a bunch of tier 3 units. Bad call. I should have went back and have reinforcements drawn in. At least I don't have to worry about any tier 2 or commandos anymore. So at this point, I decided to build in a third war factory. Reason being is I have a lot of Tiberium to harvest, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 refineries on a Tiberium field was giving me a very steady flow of credits off of Tiberium. So it's like, you know what? I'm getting a lot of money.
Construction complete.
Might as well,
New construction options.
might as well just mass produce all the units here. So I end up just producing Wolverines in a Reclamator hub, Titans in another, and Mammoth tanks and Juggernauts in another. No, not Juggernauts. Behemoths. They're essentially the same thing, except Behemoth is garrisonable and Juggernauts, well, they're able to act with, shoot really far with the aid of sniper teams. So I was making a base push just to try to wipe thin out the army a bit. Seeing that the Redeemer was causing problems, I realized that I was not exactly equipped to handle battle, so I wound up just calling these Titans back while calling for the reinforcements that I was able to produce to move forward. But in process of it, though, I was having these 3 Titans wear out the Black Hand and chipping away at the Redeemer. Or I was chipping away at the Redeemer anyways.
Unit under attack.
Either way, the Redeemer and the others are not going to last with this engagement here.
Building.
Because now, they got a bigger army to deal with.
Unit lost. Silence needed.
The Redeemer has risen, now it has fallen.
Harvester under attack.
I remember watching this in the middle of the match. Tried to run them over with the Harvester, but nope. And even then, I practically won the match anyway, so I was like, forget about it.
Unit under attack.
Ah, okay, so I did plop down a 4th war factory. That must have been specific for, yeah, behemoths.
Building.
And look at that, with,
Construction complete.
geez, with all those being used up, I'm still generating more money than what I'm spending. Yeah, and I tried to focus on the power plants on this base here, but it's like, holy crud, these turrets are still running? You'd think that these things be,
Unit under attack.
powered down, considering how much of a demand of energy these things require to have. Now it's starting to make enough of a difference to a point where it's forcing the computer to power everything down.
Unit under attack.
Man, this was a one messy gauntlet.
Unit lost. Harvester under attack. Unit
Just having this at a thoroughly honest perspective here. Wish I could see what the cursor was doing. But I probably was having these units set on aggressive stance. No, they're defensive.
Harvester
I don't know why. Oh, I know why I wasn't having them on aggressive stance, because I was specifically targeting the power plants and wanted to. Now here's the fun with the behemoths.
Unit lost.
Still harassing, yep. mean to tap on a microphone there. Sorry about that.
On the battlefield.
Unit under attack.
That's good coffee.
Harvester under attack.
So now I was finally focusing down on the MCV now that I got the power pretty much blacked out. Like I had a lot of the power plants knocked out. Refineries are one of the most power-hungry structures in the game on all factions, so those are causing a considerable drain to where producing more power, to where the power plants alone can't do much. So yeah, this is the brutal AI going down.
Unit
Now, of
under
course, I
attack.
am not skilled enough to be able to take on a brutal AI heads-on, one-on-one, but
Unit lost.
that was a little fun little thing. Something I did out of normal in terms of AI battles, like
Enemy units.
one-on-one on hard difficulty. As I explained, a flaw is some sort of issue before where the AI is not as difficult
On the battlefield.
to engage on Kane's Wrath. So I decided to just have an AI battle with one brutal AI.
On the battlefield.
Now this is me checking all the spots that is possible to have some remaining bases on. There's two things at endgame can prolong the match unnecessarily on this map. Mutant hovels and any remaining structures on the main base spots
Enemy
that
base sighted.
hasn't been touched.
Unit under attack.
So whenever I'm like going for like a big hunt and can't find any enemy bases at the spawn points, I keep forgetting mutant hovels.
On the battlefield.
Mammoth tank assembled.
On the battlefield.
Unit under attack.
Armored and ready. On the battlefield.
Probably looking ahead the way I was trying to see if there's any signs of another army coming up ahead of time. I had my doubts that there was another army existing, but you never know.
You are victorious.
So this guy didn't have any hovels.
On the battlefield.
So yeah, that's my sloppy match. But it was a fun one, at least for an amateur player like me anyways. So yeah, 38 minutes into this. I pretty much produced the Wolverine the most, but yeah, look at that. About 11k income per minute, just from that central field. So I was killing 3 units to the half unit I was losing. Some of these computers barely killed anything at all. And I suppose I can make frequent videos of these here. But yeah, this computer was like, Brutal AI had the most units for a while until I dwindled down their forces. I had the most structures until I started taking them down near the last 7 minutes. And I gained resource superiority on the matter. So yeah. This is my replay for an AI skirmish on Kane's Wrath. So this is just a random video that's figured I'd just bring up to y'all. I know it's been a while since I've done YouTubing. I've had some things that forced me to redirect my attention elsewhere for a while, so I couldn't make any videos. In regards to the Minecraft series, the way the circumstances are with me and what I had plans, the friend that I was with is no longer going to work with me on that anymore. She's having circumstances that is having her move on elsewhere. So because of that, I'm having to discontinue the Minecraft series. I won't be playing Minecraft for a while, but I am getting ready to come up with another series on another game that is like Minecraft. In the next few weeks, you can see me posting some first videos on that. You can actually see me posting a tour of a sort before I start making that series. Anyways, I did appreciate you all sticking around watching for this video this long, so I do appreciate the support. You guys be willing to like or subscribe or anything like that. If this is something that you'd like to be able to see more, then I appreciate it. And if any of y'all happen to be CNC players who would like to give me good pointers of how I can handle these things more efficiently, I'd be open-minded to that too as well. By the way, the textures that you were seeing are not vanilla game textures. I was using Kane's Wrath 4K add-on, which Master Leaf made, so he definitely did a clean work and made everything look beautiful with that, so good job to Master Leaf with the 4K texture add-on. Lighting and textures all looking good. So anyways, y'all, I wish you the best, and game on.